Hello viewers and welcome. So we all know the deal, racing lines. Drive here, drive there, take this line, that line is bad. It's the most confusing part about sim racing and racing in general. So teach a man how to catch a fish and you never have to feed him again. And that's why I'm gonna teach you the lines for the most common types of corners on racing tracks. And the thing is, lines require creativity to come up with. And in order for you to get that creativity, you first need to understand how racing lines work generally. And that's why I'm teaching the four most common types. Starting with the bus stop chicane on Spa-Francorchamps. Excuse me for the microphone audio, but I don't have any better equipment.
Right, so here's the thing. This is the bus stop chicane. And these are the lines you generally want to take. Now, what I did might be confusing, but I'm just going to explain it briefly. See, the red line is, where you should brake. Okay, don't always follow this line. Because here's the optimum line, you see, where it comes with the red, then purple, and then exit here. I just put these as braking as reference for what you want to brake, accelerate, and then, brake or trial brake or whatever. So starting with the bus stop chicane, it's a tight chicane, and the lines are a bit hard. So what you want to do is there's like a 150 meter board. Again, this is about GR3 cars. I'm not again, this is about GR3 cars, so I'm not gonna confuse you with other categories. So I'm just gonna stick to GR3 throughout this. So there's a 150 meter board somewhere like here. You want to brake just before it or just after it, depending on your speed and DOP and all that kind of settings, tire wear and that. But here's the general line. You want to brake and then you want to come and then you want to trial brake here. And trial braking is a bit difficult to do, but I will explain it later. You want to trial brake your way, eat this curb. You want to absolutely eat this curb as hard as you can to set up your entry for the next corner. So you want to eat this curb, keep it nice and tight, and then you can accelerate here, but I'm not gonna suggest you accelerate too hard, because if you accelerate hard, you're gonna have to brake here. And here, there's often two options. You can just tap the brakes or don't brake at all, depending on your entry speed actually. So there's like 2-3 options. The option one, if you don't accelerate too much or if your car is not too fast on here on the acceleration, you can just coast through it and power out. Sometimes you have a bit of speed. This is when you have a bit too much speed where you need to click the brakes. You can either do one trial brake for the rotation, not slow down. So basically 10-5% braking, or what feels like 10-5%. You're just gonna carry with brakes until you can see the exit curb. Then you're gonna power your way out smoothly. I actually forgot to add the power, so here, depending on where you see, because you see the car, it's coming. So from where you see the exit curb, that's when you want to power your way. So maybe, let's say you see it from here, that's where you want to just, power your way out of it, start smoothly getting on the accelerator, and just power your way out. And this is, the optimum line for the bus stop chicane on Spa-Francorchamps.
Now, the corner right after bus stop chicane is spot turn 1, and this is the hairpin.
I'm just gonna zoom in here. Here's your braking reference. Just right around here, there's a 100 meter border. Just around here, there's a 100 meter bollard. You're gonna want to brake right on it, 10 meters before, 10 meters after. Again, depending on fuel load, a lot of stuff, and tire wear. And here's the general lines. Okay. Here you're gonna find a bit confusing because it's different from what I had up here. Here I had the braking reference completely different from the line, but here I actually kind of mixed it in with the line. So there is 2 lines you could take here, depending again, car setup, preference, and driving style. So. So here's you brake at the 100 meter bollard, you're gonna want to stick as close to the grass as possible without touching the grass, obviously, or else you're just gonna spin or go wide. But again, this is where you want to start turning in. Again, there's 2 lines. You can take any line you like, any line you feel like is better for the car generally. Both lines are good, but again, depending on car, strategy, tire wear, this and that, and rain. But I'm just not gonna get into the rain lines, I'm just gonna, focus on the dry tire lines. So again, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna bleed a lot of speed, I think downshift into first or second, and here's where you want to start turning, okay? So you can delay your turn in and go for a more squared line, and this is where I marked it with the red and green. So again, trial braking is absolutely critical here. So I'm just gonna stick to the red and green line. You're gonna delay your turn in point, lose all your speed, turn in sharply, and start accelerating and powering out of the exit. You start accelerating. Yeah, hold on. Let me just fix this. You start accelerating right around here. Again, once you see the exit curve, that's exactly when you will start accelerating. So let's say you start seeing the exit curve right around here. And you should set a target, okay? You should see this point, yeah, the exit curve where you want to touch the exit point. If you see it, that's when you accelerate. That's the general rule of thumb I like to follow. Again, driving styles might be different. You might head into a blind corner where you don't see it. That's where you're gonna need to have a lot of trust in the car. But this is not a blind corner, so I'm not gonna get into that. So once you start seeing this point, once you start seeing this point, you know, the point where you touch the curb and, you know, straighten out, that's when you want to start accelerating. Again, obviously smoothly to avoid tire spin, this and that, or you can do it hard and like short shift in order not to wheel spin. Again, depending on your driving style, GT Sport is very forgiving when it comes to hard acceleration. And this is the second line, which again, depending on car setup, this and that can differ. Where you know, make your turning point earlier, but it's, you know, generally the same. You make your turning point earlier, you have an acceleration phase, and then a turn phase. This is why I generally don't like this line. I prefer the first line, you know, the red and green, because this line, again, so you have the turn in phase, and then you have an acceleration phase, and then you have another turn in phase. While compared to this one, you have a turn in phase, the first turn in phase, so this is, hold on. Again, so this is the turn in point for the first line. You're gonna turn in from here, and you're gonna go through it, you're gonna accelerate, and then you have another turn in point. So here you have one, two turn in points. Or like, you know, 1, 2 turning points. I'm not gonna say turn in because, you know, you're kind of exiting the corner. But, you know, you have 2 turn points, which I dislike. And here's the other line where you have 1, and you have a second turn point, but it's not as sharp. So like if you follow it, you know, you have here 1 turn in point, and then you're just gonna accelerate, and then, you know, just smoothly get on the curb. And this is why I prefer it, because again, the turning is less sharp. And here you have like 2, again, the purple line, you have 1, 2, kind of hard turning points. But again, depending on, you know, drive style, this and that, could be different.
Now on board with the bus stop chicane, you can see being very aggressive with the curb, eating up as much as they can, and then being, you know, very gentle with the trail braking and just powering out of the exit. Being very wary of the Astro curb, because if I touch it, you're done. Now as we accelerate, you're gonna put a little bit of speed as you approach turn 1 on Spa. So you're gonna, again, brake just on the 100-meter bollard, be aggressive with the downshifts, turn in, ride the brakes, and then power out of the exit. Ideally, you wanna just get your outer wheels on the sausage curb, but I went a bit too wide, and that will land you a penalty if you do it in an actual race. Now heading into another type of corner is Monza Parabolica, a fast-flowing corner. It's nothing like the ones we had on Spa, and I'm gonna explain them.
Now here, you have Parabolica. Again, once again, all these corners surprisingly require you to brake at the 100-meter bollard, unless it's this corner, you want to brake like right around 150. But this one, again, you brake 100-meter bollards, 3 corners I'm explaining here. On the 100-meter bollards, you brake, and you want to be very smooth with your throttle and braking inputs. Again, the red and green line, don't follow these, okay? Here, you don't want to follow them. This is just, again, only braking reference, I put it. You want to follow, because here, generally, there's 1 line. You want to follow the purple line. But the green, you see this green and this red, don't follow it. It's just here for a braking reference on what you should do. Again, it's a very interesting corner, very fast and very flowing. And what you need to do is you want to delay your entry point. You know, you want to go for a late apex, and then you want to go as wide as possible on the AstroTurf. Okay, so basically, here you brake on the 100-meter bollards. You carry your speed. Okay, you don't want to brake too much. You carry your speed and smoothly turn in. Again, on the purple lane, you smoothly turn in. You want to eat up as much of this curve, but once you see the end, this end curve here, you want to transition to the outside and get on the power. Again, you could get on the power from here, but again, depending on your speed and your angle, a lot of stuff, you might get on the power like right over here or here or here. But again, generally, what I do is I get softly on the power here and smoothly power out of it. So here maybe like 10, and here like 20, and here like 30%, and here like 50, and here like 100. You know, and just go out. You know, just go out, power out of it smoothly, and just, you know, ride the Astro curve. Here it's fine if you ride the Astro curve because it's not that type of curve. There's 2 types of Astro curves in Gran Turismo, and this one doesn't slow you down actually.
Once again, with the onboard brake just after the 100-meter bollard, be very wary with your brakes, ride the brakes into the corner, go for the late apex, and you want to track extend to the AstroTurf. Now you can see there's 2 types of the turfs. You see the darker one, you don't want to go on that. It's a surface with very little grip, so don't go on it. Now into Interlagos turn 1 and 2, it's a fast-flowing chicane.
We have a fast-flowing, you know, chicane. I don't know if you want to call it chicane. I'll call it a chicane. I don't know what they call it actually. But this is, you know, a very complex corner. It's more complex than bus stop because it's fast-flowing. So again, don't follow these lines. You know, the red, green, don't follow it. Okay, it's just here purely as braking and accelerator reference. There's no intention to follow these lines. You follow the purple line. Again, you can see here, 100-meter bollard. It's not here. I think it's above. I didn't find it in this picture, so I just, you know, put an arrow. It's like maybe somewhere around here. You will see it in the playthrough. Again, you want to come here. You want to stay on the outside. You know, hug the outside, and then prepare for the entry. Again, so you want to delay your entry point. So you don't want to turn in like this, because then you will be shallow. You want to delay your entry, And again, follow the purple line. And here you want to get on the accelerator. Again, you could get on the accelerator here, here, or maybe here, depending on your angle, confidence in the car, your play style, and racing style, and the car, and a lot of different characteristics. But here's, you know, the general rule of thumb. And then here you want to get on the accelerator. You can accelerate hard here, but then remember, the more you accelerate here, the harder you will have to brake here. Usually, you just have to coast, or like, you know, just get off the throttle 50%. But again, the more you accelerate here, the earlier here, the more you're gonna have to coast and maybe even brake. Again, depending on car category, but I'm just gonna stick to GT3 because this is what I did. So once you clear the first corner, you know, you follow the purple line, you have a perfect setup for the next corner, which is basically, you know, the sequence of the chicane. You're just gonna want to, you know, go through power out of it, you know, stay ready for it. And here you see these dotted lines, you know, that's where you generally want to coast. So you reach here, you want to coast and basically eat up all this curb, eat it all up. You just literally eat up as much as you can. What you can do on Gran Turismo, as long as you have the two inner wheels on the curb, you're fine, you won't get a penalty. And that's why you want to be as aggressive as possible. And now here, that's when you know you're coasting through, exit this corner. There's a third corner actually that I forgot to mention, but it's not really too much of a corner, it's basically flat out. Again, you want to eat up the curb, ride it, literally ride it like you're on a roller coaster, don't miss it. And you're gonna power your way out, here again, flat out, power your way out until you see the outer curb, which again, you will see in the video play.
Now, once again, with the onboard, you're going to be accelerating, and you're going to be accelerating all the way back. So you're going to build quite a bit of speed, and that's why you're going to brake quite earlier than you might think. Now, I slowed it down right here so you can see the 100-meter board brake just after it, and just ride the brakes and smoothly get into the corner. Now, here you want to set up yourself for the next corner and eat as much of the inner curb as you can. Again, you get no penalty as long as you have two wheels on the curb. Same goes for this curb, and then you just want to extend all the way to the other curb, and you've completed the corner. Now here's the thing, racing is not only about lines, you want to focus on other stuff, especially trail braking. I feel like trail braking is way more important than lines, so get better with the pedals before you start thinking of getting better with the lines you follow. Because here's the thing, you can take the lines way faster if you trail brake properly.